Hey everyone, we're back with another Talk with Maynard podcast, and today I'm with my sister instead of my dad. She's here because we're going to be talking about siblings of, or brothers and sisters, whatever you want to say, of someone with a disability.
It's really unfortunate because I don't like you, so I'm going to have a lot of bad things to say.
Oh, great. So I guess that's what will happen. But first, I want to start off with this podcast talking about when this little thing come into my life right here, which everyone thinks is older than me right now.
Literally, everyone, when they see us together, they're like, oh, you're here with your older sister? Or you must be the older one. Look at your baby brother.
Yeah, she looks older than me just because she's taller.
No.
But she hasn't always been taller than me. My parents decided they're gonna having her baby, and they found out I was gonna have a baby sister. And I don't know a whole lot about the day that Jenny was born. I just know I remember getting my mom a teddy bear when Jenny was born, and I also remember. Well, I don't really remember it. My aunt said that. I said, why do I have to have a baby sister and
stuff? He didn't want me, guys. He wishes I was never here. His life would have been so much better without me.
And little did I know, it would have been so much worse without me. Put it that way. But me and Jenny really grew up like any other brother and sister would. I mean, we had our share of fights and.
Can I just say? He threw a box at me.
And a TV remote.
And I'm sure many other things. I just can't remember because I was a fetus.
Yeah, but me and Jenny, we fought like any other kids would. And really, most of our life, you wouldn't know that I was disabled or anything because, I mean, we're just normal brother and sister. You wouldn't know anything different about us. It's just... We're just really normal. We played outside together. Well, Jenny liked to play outside. I didn't really like to play outside, but
we had our friends in the neighborhood that would always come over, and Cody never stayed outside super long whenever they were over because mainly they were younger. But we would play our games outside, and it seemed like every evening we were outside doing something, and we had fun, just like anything else. We played all kinds of games, a lot of baseball and dodgeball, which included me throwing the ball as hard as I can at him. Yeah. In both games, by the way, because that was just fun. But I mean, nothing different than what anyone else would do. It was we just enjoyed our time.
I used to get, since I didn't like playing outside too much, I used to get Jenny real upset because I'd be timing. I was like, we're going to go outside for 30 minutes of play.
You would always be timing, and then I was always pretty competitive. I like to play the games where we kept score and there was a clear winner, and he was never into that. He wanted to bend the rules of the game, which I did too. I changed the rules as we played. But he wanted to bend the rules of the game to where, like, everyone wins. We're all equal. You're a winner, and you're a winner, and we all split the prize.
Yeah, that's the way I was. And the older kids we had over here that are about my age, it seems like we always find a way to upset you.
Yes.
We'd be playing somewhere, next thing you know, she was all upset. We had to go talk to her.
Because since I was younger, by the way, I'm 4 years younger, so we had about 3 people in our neighborhood. Sorry, my cat's outside.
Yeah, she's crazy.
We had about 3 kids in our neighborhood who were all his age. They all graduated together. Mm-hmm. But I was 4 years younger, and at the time, I didn't really have anyone but them that came over. And so, yeah, we played games and stuff with them, and it was fun. But then there were times where they would all take off, and they would find a way to make me less than. I know sometimes they would like try to play like house or something because we were kids. And guess what I was? I was the dog.
The dog. We always found something retarded, or I don't use the word retarded, something stupid for Ginny to do. But yeah, really, we played and like any normal kids. We fought like any normal kids. Let's see what else do we got here? What else do we got here? Oh yeah, we really said that. So I guess we need to figure out how to talk about this for 5 more minutes.
5 more minutes? Holy crap!
Well, yeah. Well, maybe we won't talk for 5 more minutes about that.
Okay, this whole portion is just, we didn't have a different life, really. I mean, there were always the things that were different. Mm-hmm. You had to go to the doctor more than most people, and things were they obviously slowly started getting harder. We couldn't do as much, but we still found ways to play games. Uh-huh. Like, I know one summer my mom got us like a plastic bowling set. Oh, and we made the most fun game. We played that for like 3 days straight, hours outside on our driveway in the heat of summer in Texas, 113 degrees outside, and we're on our concrete driveway with a sprinkler going, playing water bowling, and we found a way for it to work for him, and we had fun with that game. Just
put it this way, we had so much fun playing it that I just thought it was a good idea to go in the sprinkler in my power chair, and we shorted it out a couple times.
Yeah. It didn't matter. It didn't even occur to us that things were different. Like, this is our life. Like, if I had someone who say could like walk just like any other person, just like me, that would be my life. I wouldn't think any different of it. And I probably would see if you say were someone else, you're related to someone else, and I seen you, I was like, man, life must have been so much different for you. No, this is our life. This is what I'm used to, and I wouldn't want it any other way. We found ways to make everything fun and easy, and just to be like everyone else.
And man, I've also to say,
figure it out, sweetie.
Well, this is dead air right here. I can't remember now. But yeah, we never noticed. She never noticed anything different. And talking about the fights and the arguing, and of course, as I got older, it gets harder for me to do things. And they see Jenny picking at me, or they see us get in an argument, and Jenny starts messing with me or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, I feel so bad for him. He's in a wheelchair. I'm in a wheelchair, but that doesn't mean I'm any different. I mean, me and Jenny, we still pick at each other like I'm not in a wheelchair. Everything's the same."
Yeah, like everyone thinks that because he is disabled, because he's in a wheelchair, he feels more pain. Like, say if someone came up to me and pinched me, but then I go and pinch him, it's going to hurt him like 10 times worse than it hurts me. No, it ain't.
Even though I act like it will sometimes.
You see this? Y'all see this chair here that he's in? Okay, would you rather get pinched, or would you rather get run over by that thing? No. Okay, pinching doesn't hurt him any worse than it hurts me. Nothing's different for you.
Nothing at all.
We still mess with each other, and it's not like, oh, you must really hurt his feelings. No.
And yeah, I'll exaggerate it sometimes, but any brother or sister would do that. But I don't really know what else to do at this point. I guess we will take a break for a minute and figure out what we're going to do with the next half. And so we'll see you in about, I think, 46 seconds, something weird like that.
You want me to count to 46? Okay.
No.
1,
No,
2,
I gotta stop this
3,
recording. No.
4.
everyone. We're back again.
After 46 seconds.
46 seconds. Oh, man, that was a long time. We really got some discussing in. But we want to move into the next part of the podcast. We want to talk about what we're like now and the way we've been the past couple of years. And I think a good place for us to start is me and Jenny's life we had in high school for 1 year together.
2 years.
2 years together, that's right. And with band and just school in general. So I'll start by telling you, I marched in the band all 4 years I was in high school. I marched in the pirate chair. I was on the field just like all the other kids marching. And I did that for a couple years myself, and then me and Jenny were lucky enough to get to do it together a couple years. So we really had a lot of fun, and I don't know where to go from that.
Well, I had the opportunity to move up to high school band in 8th grade. Originally, me and Cody were only going to have a year together. That was when I became a freshman. But since I was able to move up, I kind of got to have an early high school experience with him. And everyone else, they had siblings and stuff in band that they would see every day and not really interact with. And it was kind of the same situation with me and Cody. We never really came and talked to each other or anything during the day. Something that I had to do though was each day I would get to the high school, I would go and help Cody he played saxophone, get his neck strap put on and get his saxophone, and he had to have a pillow under his arm. So it was kind of just second nature for me every time I showed up to go to him and help him set his stuff up. And that was our normal. That was just what we did. And at football games and everything, if he needed help, I was there to help him. But it wasn't like a burden. I feel like everyone would think of it as that and think of how much I hated doing it. That wasn't the case at all. It was just something I did.
Yeah,
our life.
And she helped me, and whenever that first year we were in band together, she'd help me with all this stuff. But I had to wait for her to get driven to the high school from the junior high, and sometimes it'd be, and it was no big deal to me. Sometimes it'd be 5 minutes into the rehearsal, and she'd come in there and help me with my saxophone stuff. I'm talking about this is when everyone's practicing, it's quiet and stuff, and still just went about it like it was no problem. You'd think it'd be annoying or upsetting to walk in band hall and know you have to help somebody, but at least I don't think it ever upset her, frustrated her ever.
Never upset me. I mean, I'm shy, so I would sometimes get a little nervous having to walk in front of everyone while they're rehearsing, but it didn't bother me. It wasn't something that I was like, gosh, dang, I gotta go do this. No, I mean, I was gonna do it. He loved band, I loved band. We shared that love for something, and so I don't know where I was going with that, but it didn't bother me at all. I didn't mind doing it.
The only time it probably ever bothered her is I tend to be almost like obsessive compulsive disorder in a way.
So picky.
She'd come in there and try to feel quiet, and I'm trying to whisper, and she's like, Cody, it's just as good as it's going to get. I can only do so much.
The whole pillow situation, it was a folded pillow with bungee cords around it that I had to hook under his armrest, and I had to get his arm sat perfectly on there. And then I had to put his neck strap on him and make sure it was nice and tight. And then put his saxophone, get his mouthpiece right to where it needed to be.
My slimy mouthpiece.
It stunk. And then get it pulled up so that way it would get to his mouth. And then help him put his hands around it. And no problem. I had no problem with doing that. But whenever he would say that something needed to be moved, just the slightest bit, and then I'd move it, and then it'd be too far. That was a little frustrating, but I still did it.
Yeah, she still did it. And that makes me realize that Jenny just loved the woodwind instrument so much better than her trumpet.
Definitely
helping me
not.
with it. So she'd come in there and just put her mouthpiece in there. She'd come in there and put 3 pieces together and all this stuff. So she's a pro in both instruments.
It was like that for my 8th grade year, and then freshman year, not much changed. I got to rehearsal on time. That was a plus. I'd help him put his saxophone together. Whenever I was in 8th grade, I left before the class period, before their class period ended. Mm-hmm. So I never got to really help him take his instrument apart. You had someone that helped you do that. I did. But then freshman year, I was able to help him get all set, and then at the end of rehearsal, help him take all the stuff off, and then I would help him go and get his. He always carried a binder with him. He didn't carry a backpack. Get his binder and lunchbox and all of that.
And just kind of a bonus thing, not really anything to do with us helping each other or anything. Jenny's freshman year and my senior year, that was a state year for our band, and our football team also did pretty good that year. So they did go to state that year too. Yeah, but we've got to go to big stadiums that other bands would only dream of. We've been to the Cowboys Stadium, AT&T Stadium. We've been to Longhorn Stadium. I can't remember what it's called.
Longhorn Stadium. I don't know what it's called. We've been to NRG, whatever stadium, Houston Texans.
And the Alamo Dome for state marching contest. So, we really got to see some things and go to some big places, and we got to all experience it together, which is really cool. Well,
wow,
that's nice.
So
that's loud. Okay, we'll probably hear that text message again in a minute.
Great.
And that brings us to the next thing that way me and Jenny plan to be in the future. I'm in college right now, and Jenny's is in her senior year right now, getting ready for college. And we do stuff together, help each other all the time. But later in life, it's gonna be the same for me and Jenny as it's been for every other brother and sister. We both have our own plans and own things we want to do, and we won't get to see each other maybe as much. Well, for a few years we'll be going to the same college together. But
thinking about that, I don't know why I feel the need to say this, but I always think about whenever I get older and have like a house or an apartment, more than likely an apartment first and house. But most people, they don't think about whenever they're buying a house for themselves, disability and like accessibility and all of that. And like I've already planned it out. Like I will not get an apartment. I will not get a house if there is no way for him to get inside. I don't want front steps. If I do have front steps, I will have like a ramp there or something for you to get inside. Or hopefully if there's like a garage, there's going to be a way for him to get inside. And there's going to be a way for him to get in every single room. Because I just feel like that would be unfair for him to come over, me being his sister, him being my brother, coming over and not having a way to get inside. I don't feel like that's right.
That's a cool thing about Jenny and me growing up together. She sees these things, like me wanting to get into a place easy and different things like that. And, and it's not anyone's fault, but a lot of our family members' houses have been modified, and some of the houses still haven't been just perfect for a power chair, and that's just because they weren't, didn't ever think there'd be a situation like this. But with Jenny growing up with me, she sees it and knows exactly how everything needs to be for me to be able to get around. So that's really cool.
Mm-hmm. I think it's good that like our family and stuff have made the modifications.
Mm-hmm. It's really good. We've all done good adjusting, but I think that is pretty much it for this podcast. We'll see how I can do a closing. I didn't write my closing out this time. Everyone said it's not too scripted, so whatever she's talking about.
ASMR.
I don't know what she's talking about. But so that's all we have for this podcast. That's the way me and Jenny are, the way we've grown up, and the way we plan on being in the future. So let me see if I can remember all my social media. be sure to go to my website, www.projectmaynardstain.com. That should appear on the screen if you're watching the video. Twitter at Project Maynard1, on Instagram at Project Maynard Stain, and on Facebook at Project Maynard Stain. And I don't know what I'll leave out. Did I leave out anything?
Hello, follow me on Instagram at Jenny.shoppy and my photography account at Visions. That's at VISHUNZ. Thank you very much.
And I'll put that on below too. And so that's all we have. And goodbye, everyone, and have a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
Happy New Year.
New Year's. Let's get this bread. 2019. Yes.
Yes. And bye.